Hello, my name is Joanne Cornell and I'm from Rosa's Creations. I'm going to be doing a video today because I want to apologize to everybody on my YouTube channel. I have had a rough 2 years now of dealing with medical issues. I've posted some of it on Facebook, a lot of it on Facebook, because I wanted everybody to know how I was doing, because I didn't want to have to explain to all my friends on Facebook why I was being hidden away and stuff like that, the way I have to do it right now to you on the YouTube channel. Okay, so I kept a lot of things of it private off the YouTube channel and just on my Facebook page, mainly because, like I said, I wanted my friends to know what was going on, so they didn't call me up and go, hey, how you doing, how you doing, how you doing, and I go, you know, blah blah blah, and then I'd have to do blah 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 time next person that calls. I was getting sometimes 5 phone calls in a day on asking me on how I was doing. You know what I mean? Like, so that's tiring, and it was all different people, so it wasn't I had to explain the same damn thing. So I decided I'm doing it on Facebook. This way I can just tell everybody. So hopefully when I see somebody and I say finally get to go out and stuff, where somebody says, hey, you know, how you doing, I can go, fine. You know what I mean? Like, you read my thing, you can find out. If not, you know, I don't think you care that much about it. And then I could have a conversation, a real conversation about something else other than my illness, because I didn't want to have a conversation about my illness every damn time I talk to somebody. It's tiring, it's frustrating, and most of the time they say how you doing, but they don't want to know how you doing. But yeah, actually I just joked with somebody because I saw him, I talked to him yesterday, and I had to laugh because I was like, he asked me how I was doing, and I haven't seen him in like 2 years, you know what I mean? So he had no idea what was going on. He didn't have a Facebook page, so he had no idea what was going on. So I told him, and he's like, holy moly, like, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, that was a lot. I said, so are you sorry you asked me? He said, no. He said, I kind of care. He said, you know, yeah. And I was like, okay. So that kind of felt good because of the fact that he really did care, even though I hadn't seen him in a while, because I hadn't gone out and done anything or anything else to do this. So I've fibromyalgia I've had fibromyalgia for like 16, 17 years now. I lost count kind of deal. And then I had ended up getting diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia probably like 6 years ago now. So fibromyalgia is pain throughout the whole body. So if you stub your toe, it's like stubbing your whole body. That's the easiest way I can explain it. Anytime you bang your elbow, you end up hurting here, and you end up hurting here. Me, I hurt here, here, and everywhere. So that's how that works. It amplifies it, and it also makes it go out throughout the whole body. So if my shoulder hurts, my knee hurts, my this hurts, my everything hurts. So I have a lot going on the past couple of years. So here I wanted to explain everything so I don't have to keep explaining everything all the time, hopefully. And then we can be done with this, because I really, really want to be done with being sick, and I really, really want to be done and get to do stuff. February 3rd, I had a colon resection. And now I'm going to back up. Before that, this was a year and a half ago is when I had the colon resection. So 8 months before that, I got an infection in diverticulitis. Diverticulitis is when you have pouches in your tummy, in your colon, no matter what you think, you have them there. And then when you get older, the opening opens up a little bit more, and so it's more for absorption, because what happens is that your body absorbs everything, and then it's also your colon takes out the vitamins and the minerals and everything you need, and then they dispose of the stuff you don't need, which is your poop. Well, sometimes poop gets stuck in that little pouch there, and it ends up getting infected. So when it does that, you end up taking antibiotics, and usually you get better in a couple of weeks, and then that's the end of that. Then later on in life, when you end up getting the infection in the same spot, you end up getting pouches that end up having abscesses. So then the pouches get abscesses. Sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it don't. It depends. Sometimes you don't even know you had diverticulitis until, or diverticulosis, I should say, until, you know, you get the itis part, which is the infection. So I had 2 or 3 bouts with no complications, and then I had a couple of bouts with complications. There was abscesses, and the doctor told me at this time, you know, next time you're probably gonna have to get operated on. I was like, okay, you know, like, so I try to stay away from the foods and everything else that I was supposed to, and I ended up getting an infection. So 8 months I was on antibiotic, and 8 months I was on a liquid diet. I could not eat anything solid at all. Every time I ate something solid, I was in excruciating pain, really bad. And like I said, when I have pain in one spot, it goes everywhere in my body. So it made me feel like I got hit by a Mack truck, run over, and then run over some more, and then rolled over and run over some more, you know, or 10 people beat the hell out of me. You know what I mean? Like, however you want to take that explanation. That's it. And they kept doing it every day. You know what I mean? It wasn't just today and then I get to heal. It was every day I'm getting pounded by 10 different people. You know, that's how it felt. So after the operation, February 3rd, I ended up having February, March, April, May, June, July. I had February, so March, April, May, June, July. 5 months after I'm out of the hospital and I had the colon resection, I started feeling a little better. So I was doing a very little, as much as possible, as much as I could do, but very little. So I was going to the store on Saturdays. It was one of my things that I was doing on Saturday nights, is I was going to the store and I was doing Magic the Gathering tournaments. By the way, Commander Magic the Gathering Sports Den on Mineral Spring Avenue in North Providence, Rhode Island. If you're interested, we do the Commander format, and it's a group type thing where you just come in, you play against you play against a bunch of the kids, you jump into one of the groups, play, and then you can come in when you want and you can leave when you want. You're not committed to sitting there the whole 3 or 4 hours or whatever. Sometimes I cut it short because of my medical issues right now, you know, if I'm tired or something like that. But 4 hours, you usually get 3 to 4 hours at least time. We also do pre-releases too. Didn't mean this to be a commercial type thing too, but I might as well do that. I might as well. So I can say today was sponsored by the Sports Den. How about that? All right, just kidding. So 5 months after I go out, and I decided I'm going to go to the casino and spend a little time there. So I spent a little time there, and because I have some free slot play, so I used it up. And then I went to go to work. When I went to go to work, I ended up getting hit by, well, actually, I ended up hitting a car who crossed the line. So what happened is that somebody went through the median, because there's a road going this way, and then there's a road going this way, and then there's a median in the middle of the road. So that way when you have to turn, you have to go this way into the opening of the median and come across, and then you get into the parking lot. You go across 2 lanes and then you get into the parking lot, okay? So I'm driving this way and she's driving this way and comes across, and I don't know if she was looking or not, but she didn't see me, and don't tell me she couldn't have seen me because I was there. And next thing you know, I smashed into her. Definitely not my fault, because I was in my lane. She was out of her lane totally, and went even through like almost a half another lane to get to me, get in front of me. So normally when I do that, when I'm coming this way and I want to go that way, I normally go this way. I stop and I look, and then I crawl up and I still look to see if there's anybody coming. Because sometimes they drive a little bit faster than they should up that road, and that's not cool. So I want to make sure that there's nobody coming. That didn't happen with her. Not sure what her excuse is. Don't even care what excuse is. All I know is I saw her in front of me and I hit the brakes. And when I hit the brakes, I broke my leg. So I broke my leg in 3 places, 2 tibia, 1 fibula fracture, completely broken, not just, you know, a little bit or 3/4 way. I went smacka, no connection. So I had top of my tibia, bottom of my tibia, and then there was an extra piece of bone sitting in the middle doing this. Yeah. So when the rescues got there, I was holding my leg together. That's another story. If you look on one of my, I think I even put it on the YouTube channel. If I didn't, I will. But on a YouTube, it explains the accident, because I explained what happened in the accident, how I felt in the accident. So, broke my leg, ended up calling a rescue. I had to go and hold my leg together because I didn't want bones coming out of my skin, because if the bone comes out of my skin, then I know that I'm going to have chances of infection, and it's going to be a whole other big thing of problems. I was an EMT before, so I have knowledge, medical knowledge. So I was holding my leg together and making sure that a damn good thing I had tight pair of pants. Normally I was wearing loose pants, but I felt better that day, so I said, oh, I get to wear my real jeans, you know, not sweatpants or, you know, Johnnies and scrubs and whatever else. So the pants did help me hold it together, and then I hold it together too. It's hurting now just because I'm talking about it, which is kind of weird. So I ended up having to have rod and pins put in. They had to wait 3 days because they wasn't sure if I had compartmental syndrome or not. Because it was a chance that it was happening, but they just, you know, so they said, you know, we gotta wait 3 days in order to operate. So then they operated 3 days later, and then like 5 days after the operation, they sent me home. Rod, pins put in, go home. Okay, so I think it was like the first day after I had it done, they had me walking, which is kind of crazy because I thought, you know, the doctor come in and he goes, hey, he says, come on, he said, we're going to go for a walk. And I go, oh, yeah, you're going for a walk. I ain't going for no walk. Like, what the hell you think you're going to do? You know what I mean? Like, I ain't walking anywhere. I just got a rod and pins put in my leg, you know? And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm the one that did it. You know, sure. But he was right. I got up and he walked around. So then, of course, I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, he must know what he's talking about. So I got up and I tried to walk around, and I did. And, of course, I was assisted, you know what I mean? I had a walker, and I was just doing it, and they were standing right behind me to make sure I wasn't going to fall. Did good. The next day, they ended up testing me to see if I could go home. I ended up going on crutches, and I was doing just fine. So they sent me home. I come home and I get on to the tops. I get to the first step of the stairs over here in my doorway, and I fell. I don't know what the hell happened. The people that were with me, it wasn't their fault. It really wasn't. Doug, rest in peace. It was not your fault. And Ann, it definitely wasn't your fault either. You know, they were watching me. And I was fine, you know what I mean? Like, because they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm like, just, you know, be here in case I go to fall. Hopefully you can catch me, you know what I mean? And they're like, okay. And I'm like, you know, but I really was walking fine. Like, I walked all the way from the car from the driveway up, you know, to the, with no problems at all, you know, with the crutches. As soon as I got picked up one stair up, for some reason I ended up getting a dizzy spell, and it just happened instantly. It wasn't even like I could say, hey, I'm getting dizzy. It was like dizzy, bonk, and I was down. Next thing I know, I'm down on the ground. So I think I fainted, I don't know, but I was definitely dumped on the ground. Of course, they come running to me like, oh my God, you know, and I was like, well, I mean, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I just got really, really dizzy, and next thing you know, I was out like a light, you know, for a couple of seconds. They're like, you want us to call a rescue? You want us to take you to the hospital? You know, like, I'm like, no, I'm like, I'm feeling fine, you know. But I think it was because I'm medication that I was feeling fine. Because here's the other part of the story. So I'm feeling fine, so I get in the house. I ended up, they get me in my chair where I need to be and everything, you know, and they're like, okay, you know, you okay? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, Dennis is going to be coming in a couple of hours. I don't need to go pee or anything else. I'll be just fine. I'm going to take my medicine, try to watch a little TV and just chill, you know. put ice packs on and everything on me and everything else the way they were supposed to, you know, help me do whatever I had to do to get the ice packs on and stuff like that for swelling. And then they left. So I slept pretty good because I don't really kind of remember anything other than being in a lot of pain, and I just took an extra pain pill because I was like, okay, I gotta, you know, try to get some damn sleep tonight, because in the hospital, as you know, you don't get any damn sleep. Every hour or so, they're blood pressure, this, that, the other, taking your temperature, sticking a probe here, probe there, oh, we gotta check this, gotta check that. Are you okay? Oh, I need blood now. Okay, you know, yeah. Or just walking up and down the halls, and then you got a roommate who has ended up making noises or asking for things or something like that, and you know, I want to goddamn sleep, but no, that didn't happen. So when I get home, I took an extra pill and I said, I'm going 90-90. So I went to sleep, and I woke up in the morning, and next thing you know, I'm hurting pretty bad, you know. I'm like, oh, what the hell? And it's not just in my leg, it's in my chest. So I'm hurting in my chest, and I'm like, oh shit. I remember this feeling. And I had to cough. That was the thing that made me feel that pain, is I had to cough. And when I coughed up blood. So I called the rescue pretty much right away. It was just like, you know, I didn't even get up off the chair yet. I coughed, and I was like, okay, this is gonna happen. So I got myself off the chair, and I ended up walking myself to the ladies' room with the with the walker. And because I did have a walker too, I ended up walking myself to the bathroom with the walker. I ended up going pee and then come out, and the rescue was here. Ended up going with them, and they did x-rays, and 6 ribs were broken. Nothing was punctured, nothing was anything affected or anything. It was just ribs were broken. So I spent some more days in there because they wanted to observe and make sure that anything, no complications from that was going to happen, especially because they knew my previous things that went on. So you're like, you know, you're going to chill here for a couple of days more. Okay. I'm like, really? Like, I don't want to be in the hospital again. But finally left. Ended up now I can't even use the crutches, because I can't use the crutches because I can't hold my body, because I can't with the chest. So it was a wheelchair time. So now instead of going forwards, I'm going backwards more and more. Again, it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, what the hell happened, you know? So I ended up, I'm sorry, I keep saying so all the time, and I gotta stop that, because every time I watch the videos, it drives me nuts. I ended up healing from that, healing from everything, using a wheelchair for a while. And then I went from a wheelchair to a walker, and then from a walker I ended up doing it on my own. I didn't even go to the crutches, because I was like, you know what, I'll go right from wheelchair to walker. And I wanted to just make sure I think I was afraid of falling again, so I didn't use the crutches again. It was just like, this isn't happening. I know how to use crutches, but I'm just not doing it. Because I've taught plenty of people how to do it, so it ain't like I don't know how to use it, you know. But I just didn't want to fall again. I ended up getting out of the wheelchair, getting into the walker, and then finally starting to walk on my own. So I am walking on my own now. So I can walk on my own. I cannot walk long distances at all. When I walk from like maybe my house, I have walked from my house to Kingstown Bow, which is not that far away. I can't remember what the hell it said. I think it said like 1/8 of a mile, I think it was. So it's not far at all, you know what I mean? Like, but when I did do that, I ended up walking. Then I ended up stopping. So there is a campground not far from, about a RV park that people live in. So it's not just an RV park where you go in, you end up spending a couple of nights. This is a mobile home area. So I ended up stopping there, and I would sit on a rock over there, and I'd stay there for a couple of minutes, until I got feeling a little bit better. And then I walked a little bit more, and then I ended up walking to, there's a restaurant there across the street actually from Kingstown Bowl. Kingstown Bowl parking lot is pretty big, pretty good size. Not for a normal person, but for me, because I had just gotten, this all happened. By the way, the accident happened on July 12th, 2025. So it's been almost a year since this accident happened. Well, it's been a year and a couple of weeks since this accident happened. I get tired very easy. I can't walk that far. And when I do walk, I have to make sure that I'm stable and I don't take a lot of medications and stuff if I'm going to do that. But I ended up doing that a couple of times, where I ended up walking to Kingstown Bowl because I needed the physical therapy. I needed to be able to walk. I needed to be able to do something. And then I would shoot pool, and then somebody would give me a ride home. That was how I did it, because I didn't go back and forth. That's for damn sure. So I tried doing some of my pool. I was doing pretty good at pool. I had to sit in a chair, a special chair, because I couldn't end up sitting in the regular chairs over there because they're high tops. So I had an office chair, which I was graciously allowed to use, and I'd sit in the office chair and wait until my turn, and then play pool, and then end up getting a ride home. That's how that worked. Most of the time I got a ride there and ride back. I only walked there a couple of times, and it was kind of like, it had to be a good weather, it had to be good, me feeling good, it had to be me everything, everything had to line the way it was. So that's what I did for my physical therapy after my physical therapy was cut off because my medical wasn't covering it anymore. Then here I am now. I'm sorry, I'm losing concentration because I've done this a couple of times now. I'm trying to finish before the 25 minutes or 35 minutes. So I can walk just fine, but like I said, I have a hard time doing long walks. And if I do a lot of things, I end up paying the price, of course, because that's what happens with the fibromyalgia too, so it's not just the leg, but I still have pain in my leg, big time. Still have pain in my leg. I just can't get rid of it. Anytime I think I, am not feeling it, all of a sudden my leg will say, hey, here I am, got you, you little bitch, you're gonna, ha. You think the pain is over? It's not. So, also, I have PTSD. I want to talk a little bit about that. Thought that talking to a psychiatrist, because I've had a lot of problems in my life, and talking to a psychiatrist didn't work before. This time, it's actually helping. It's somebody where I can explain things that have happened that I can't explain to anybody else because I don't trust a lot of people. With her, I can trust her. Not only because she is a psychiatrist, but because of the fact that I feel really comfortable with her. So telling her anything, I'm good with. So any intimate thing or whatever happens, whatever I say is not going to go anywhere. And I have very bad trust issues from people hurting me with trust. So PTSD, I still have it. It's like, I don't know when it's going to go away. I hope it goes away soon, but every time I see a crash on the TV, or I hear a crash, or I hear any bones breaking, all of a sudden I'm back at the car accident. Even talking about it right now is giving me back to the car accident, which sucks. So, and then I also have pain on my right side right now, which goes from the underneath the shoulder blade type area, like right in that area, and then it goes down my whole right side of my body, going down to my legs. Didn't have that before. I used to have a little knot in my shoulder, right, but I didn't have this radiating pain, numbness, stiffness, hurting, cramps. And it's just like right now, my whole arm kind of feels numb and pain at the same time. I don't even know how I can explain that, because once you feel numb, you don't feel the pain or something, but it's kind of like there, but not there. You know, the pain reminds me that my arm is there, but it doesn't kind of feel like it's mine for some reason. And the same thing with my leg. So my whole right side is still messed up. I have to see a neurologist in order to find out what the hell is going on. I believe, my physical therapist believes too, is that I have something wrong with C3, 4, and 5 or something like that in my neck. And so that's what's causing it. Which, of course, my neck definitely hurts too. And then with the trigeminal neuralgia, by the way, trigeminal neuralgia, nerve that comes from here, goes this way, and this way. When it's triggered, I have facial pain all on this side. So bad that I've never had that much pain in my whole life, even going through childbirth, even going through all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I went to childbirth, 3 of them, naturally, throughout all 3 of them. And they were more than 24 hours, every one of them too. So it wasn't an easy labors at all. I have tough labors, go through hell, and then come back, and then I'm fine. Like I said, I don't do anything in moderation. It's all the way or nothing. So that is my apology, because I really do. I am sorry that I did just drop you guys, you know what I mean, and didn't keep doing this stuff. But I wanted you to know what was going on behind the scenes type thing. Alrighty, so I want you to like, share, subscribe this video, share my YouTube channel, which is A Rose's Creations 420, I believe. I will put the link on here so that way you know where the Facebook page, where the YouTube channel page is, because this is definitely going to go on YouTube. And then I'm going to be uploading a whole bunch of videos on YouTube, and then I'm going to be doing the editing, and not editing, but I'm going to be doing the descriptions of what the videos are about, little by little, because it's going to be a good amount of work. I have a lot of videos, and I kind of want to just share the videos more than I want to do the descriptions and stuff more, you know. But I definitely need to do that too. And I just got my computer back, because when I got in a car accident, I ended up losing part of the cord. I think I left it at the hospital, because I kept trying to find it for a whole year now. I've been trying to find it, and I couldn't. So I finally ended up buying a new cord, and so now I have a new cord, so I have my computer back. So I will be able to do some of the descriptions and stuff like that of the videos on the computer, and it'll make it easier than trying to do everything on a damn phone. So I do have a lot of videos coming up and about a lot of different things. I'm going to do another video right now after this one. I'm going to finish this one right now. So like, share, subscribe to my channel. Help me out by, you know, telling everybody what's going on. I will be doing a lot of neat new things, and teaching people how to do whatever I want to do and decide I want to do for the day, or something like that. Even if it's something simple, I'm going to be trying to do videos as much as possible. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. This one probably isn't an enjoyable one, but it does give you an explanation on why I disappeared. Have a good day, and hope to see you soon. Keep watching for more adventures.